Hello guys and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be helping you guys beat floor 90 of Trial of Ascension. Now, unlike floor 80 that we did in the last video, it's like the difficulty jumps so much to floor 90 because floor 90 can actually be a very scary floor if you don't prepare well enough. I mean, even the waves leading up to the boss stage can be very scary. So we have a lot to talk about in this video. But first things first, let's find the theme of the stage. So when looking at Megan, Megan is typically a unit that buffs her team as well as increasing their attack bar, strips the enemy, and prevents them from receiving beneficial effects, and she can also place dots here. With Thrain is just... Thrain is actually a really good unit. If you have him, I recommend building him in Second Awakening him. But he can not stun on enemies, but he can place continuous damage on all enemies with his second skill, and then with his third skill, stun all the enemies. We're lucky that this is not 2-8, by the way, because this would be even worse. But so he's placing even more continuous damage, and then he stuns you, as well as dealing a massive amount of damage with the third skill. And when you take this into when you take Megan into consideration when looking at Thrain, that increased damage plus an attack buff at floor 90 can really kill a lot of your squishy. So you really want to be careful with who you're bringing. I mean, it's one thing to like bring damage dealers, but if you bring damage dealers that really can't take hits here, you're going to regret it. I mean, those damage dealers will die if you allow these units to move. So we're going to have to bring stuns and all that. I mean, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out as we build our team and we go through this. But last but not least, Ashabel, I don't know how you want to pronounce this. But Ashabel is actually pretty interesting. Alone, like by himself, I wouldn't be too scared because he's pretty basic. I mean, he increases crit rate on skill 1, reduces attack bar to 0 on skill 2, and then AoE sleep, as well as a beneficial effects block on skill 3. But combined with the other two units, like Megan, where again Megan strips on her second skill, it's just like if you don't prepare, he will slowly but surely put your units to sleep, and it'll be near impossible to beat this because it's an AoE, right? It only takes the Megan stripping 2 of your units, and you don't know which one. It might get one of your important units like a healer or one of your damage dealers, and then him taking his turn and sleeping them, and then you're down a couple units. They're taking turns and not doing anything. This team can be a nasty combination if you don't prepare, but obviously we come prepared, so let's go make that team. So of course, one thing that we're going to have to really focus on, I mean like more than any of the other stages, is crowd control, obviously, as we have been doing this entire time. But crowd control, and you're going to find this going through TOA normal and hard, is that crowd control is key. It doesn't matter really how squishy your units are or how strong that they are. If they can crowd control a unit or the enemy to the point where they're just not moving, then it's a success, right? We win. So, obviously, Veramos, Spectra, Tyron, Tayor. It's just like, I don't know where Tyron is. Gosh, you think I don't know where he is by now. But like Tyron, Charlotte, it's just Gene or whatever his name is. I can't remember. Julian is his name. Just... the list goes on and on of units that just do stuns. These units will be super important here. I implore you, just at least minimum 2 units. And that's like playing it risky in my opinion, especially if you're newer and your runes aren't as good. But bring units that have good crowd control, that can stun, reduce attack bar, all that stuff. But for this one, we're going to be a little bit unique. I mean, we're still going to probably bring Spectra, maybe. We'll bring Tayor, just for fun. That's not Tayor. We'll bring Tayor, just for fun. I'm probably passing a lot of units. We'll bring you for fun as well. Obviously, you're not going to have these options in the beginning. You might, but you might not be able to have them ruined. But Spectra works just fine. I'm just doing it for fun. Spectra and Veramos would be better because you're going to build them tanky. And Veramos has cleanses and reduces attack bar. Spectra has damage and reduces attack bar and attack power and attack speed. I mean, these are going to be really good units that you're going to bring. But definitely bringing Thrawn. Actually, I'm still really terrified. I want to bring Spectra, and then we'll bring Lauren to hyper-focus the Shubal. Because there might be a time when we lose immunity, and we don't want a Shubal to be able to attack us at that time. So we want to have him hyper-focused. So this is the team we'll bring. This is a random team. Of course, I'm going to just have fun with it. It's going to look easy to me, but if you're a beginner, you can definitely have a bit of a time with this. So be careful, right? So, of course, this is my Monkey King, Shiho. He's not exactly the best, I understand. But, Violent Rune. This is an intangible rune. But, there you go. Slow down the video if you would love to see his runes even clearer. Not exactly the best, not even skilled up, but it works. He has the attack lead. He has a stun on his second skill, AoE, stun on his first skill, and then multi-hit stun and strip on his third. So, here we have Teor, Swift Blade. Not crazy fast, not the best crit rate, but, you know, it works. He works. Yeah. But decent. He's decent. Have him fully skilled up. HP lead in case you do need it. Thrawn, even though you guys have seen my Thrawn many a times. Good HP, good attack, good speed, good everything. I love her. Spectra. And you're going to notice, by the way, my Spectra is not completely skilled up, but as long as you get skill 2 and 3 done, I think that's all that matters. But your Spectra definitely build on HP percent. You shouldn't really go attack percent until much later in your career in Summoner's War, when you have actual good runes. But then there's Lauren. We want her to have high accuracy as usual. I'm trying to start the skiller up, but of course, Cowgirl dungeons are always needed. So here's our team. Let's just hop straight into it. So, like I mentioned earlier, the waves are actually going to be kind of scary. Because now you're facing like some real big name like units that can actually do stuff. The Dark Rakshasa, I hope I'm saying that correctly, has multiple hits and can kill squishies. So like units like my Teor, or maybe even potentially my Monkey King, if I don't play this right, can get killed relatively easy. But you also have to understand that the Water Phantom Thief can also kill pretty easily, right? The Dark Rakshasa, as far as I'm aware, has tons of attack speed and attack bar reduction skills, and the Water Phantom Thief is of course going to have stuns and such. They all do tons of damage. You do not want them to move. In my opinion though, aim for the Rakshasas because they can get in the most amount of hits. So we're going to do this. Hopefully we can freeze and potentially reduce attack bar. So there we go. We're still going to stun with the skill 2. We didn't do crap, so I don't know why I used Spectra to attack him. We'll get the Rakshasa stunned. Get him reduced. We'll just do this. Squall on her. Just aim for whomever. Just do not let them move at all. And then we can aim for you. I don't think that guy will do anything to us. So wave 2. This is important. Crowd control the Dark Oracles. These are obviously the ladies who are dark. The dark hair, dark clothing. I think they pose the biggest threat. They have the chance to strip all beneficial effects off of you and stun you if they succeed. So it's an automatic stun. So they will strip you into a stun. And obviously at stage 90, they're already going to do a ton of damage. But on top of that, the Light Rakshasa will elongate harmful effects. So if they stun you for like 1 turn, for example, they'll turn it into like 2 turns or 3 turns or whatever. And it's a passive, so it doesn't matter. There's no cooldown to it. They'll just increase harmful effects. So if they get you locked, they're going to lock you for a long time. So any squishies like Crow or Naomi can really get messed up here, which When you get to floor 90 or 100, I recommend just not bringing them. Bring units like Spectra or Vermos that can do a bit of damage and take hits. So the Light Rakshasa, we're going to do that too. Let's hope we freeze. I'm going to aim to freeze the Light Rakshasa. And then we'll hopefully reduce the attack bar of everybody else. There we go. We will stun just in case with Monkey King skill 2, which it worked. Let's finish you off. Yeah, no. It's easy if you know who to aim for, but if you don't, and you just let certain people live, that's a heck no. It's a no. You're gonna lose. So I recommend in Spectra. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this enough. Spectra really doesn't have to be Second Awakened. You can bring him unto aid, as long as he's landing his attack bar reductions, right? So, of course, like I mentioned here. Actually, I haven't mentioned it. For Ashubal, I never gave the threat levels, did I? I don't know. No, I did, I think. Megan and Thrain, I gave both a 6 out of 10 in threat levels. Just in case I didn't, I'm going to repeat myself, I guess. And normally, I would think that alone, these units aren't that big of a threat. But again, in combination, they are. So, you really want to make sure none of them move. Any of them. Like, Thrain, Megan, they don't move. Because Megan, again, is going to have those buffs, which is going to make all of her allies more powerful. And again, this high up, we do not want them to have any extra attack than they have. I mean, they will knock out squishies. So, we're going to make sure Shubal doesn't move. We have immunity on, so I'm not too scared. You know, for the sake of teaching, I want to see how much Thrain does in damage. I'm not too scared, but look at that. Dude, okay, actually, yeah, no, you don't want them to move because, again, she's going to buff everybody. Megan's going to buff everyone, and then it's a downhill from there. Stun? No. Okay, see, I'm going to pay the price for allowing her to stay. Actually, reduce attack bar. Oh, crap. Okay, let's do this. Let's not let her move. Okay. That was much easier. It's much easier when you bring crowd control units. I know, like, early on, you're not going to have too many options. You're just going to have units like Spectra or Vermos at most. But I heavily, like, I'm telling you guys, invest in some crowd control units of every attribute. Like, if we look through my attributes for, like, water units, Tyron, Lapis, Teor, Monkey King, they have crowd control, like, heavy crowd control skills, right? Then the fire units, we have Spectra. I mean, I was going to say one unit, but we have Spectra. And the wind, we have we have Charlotte. We have Julian. Julian, is his name Julian? God dang it. Yeah, Julian. And light, I don't think we have too many light ones. Or Lauren, obviously, but dark ones, we have Vermos. We have, I think she has, I haven't skilled her up all the way, never mind. I haven't even got her, like, skills activated. But invest into some of these units, because it's going to be important when you get to stages, like, especially, like, Trial of Ascension, and especially in the hard stages, like TOA hard, where it's just, like, units with disadvantageous attributes or whatever are going to have a much harder time crowd controlling. And that's where you definitely don't want to mess up, is in those hard stages. So, invest into those units. But, of course, again, Vermos, Spectra alone would have worked here just fine. You could have definitely brought, like, the basic team where it's, like, Vero, Spectra, Crow, and/or Naomi, Fran, and Lauren, and that would have worked. You would have, again, just had to aim for specific units to make sure you live. But, and if you bring Crow or Naomi, I would highly recommend either building Crow or Naomi like how I built my Naomi, where it's, like, attack, crit damage, HP. So they have some HP, because they're going to do tons of damage regardless. Yes, you lose a couple points of damage, but their survivability increases. So, I highly recommend doing that. But, I hope I helped you guys beat this Trial of Ascension stage. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.